Welcome to Bellydance Bites, and let's have a look at our figure of 8's. And this is an up figure of 8 done on the vertical plane, and it looks like this. So how do we get this movement? It's based on two aspects. One is the transfer of weight from one side to the other. This is what's known as a hip slide. Both my knees are locked, legs straight, and I am pushing my hips from side to side. If I bend my knees to get that movement, that's something else, okay? And I'm not really basically stretching out the ligaments and the joints all around my hips and also my side obliques. So by locking out my knees, this is very good practice for your figure of 8's. So push the hips out as much as you can. Okay, so the movement depends on the hips also coming up and down. So there's no twisting with this movement at all. We want to minimize the twist in our waist completely. So I'm going to push my hips down and take my weight over to this side, so much so that I can lift up my foot on this side. Okay, and then from there I'm going to straighten the leg and also use my side oblique on this side to bring the hip up. The weight remains on this side, but now I visualise the hip as pointing upwards. From here, I'm going to maintain this angle in my hips by transferring the weight over, but I'm not going to allow my hip on this side to come up yet. So transfer the weight all the way over to this side as much as you can, so much so I can lift up my leg on this side. Now this knee is bent on this side. I'm going to straighten the knee and I'm going to tighten, contract my side oblique on this side so as to bring the hip up, and I'm visualising it as pointing up. So now I'm going to slide my hips across back to this side, but again maintaining the angle, this angle here. So the 8 is going in this direction, so coming across, over. So remember, this is dependent on two movements, the hips going up and down and this sliding of the hips from one side to the other, or the weight transfer. I'm trying to isolate this movement from the waist up, and please think about your posture. That's the very first thing to consider. If you're not sure about your correct dance posture, please have a look at Bellydance Bites and go to the posture where I will break that down in more detail. So going across and across. Right, I'm going to use a stick to help emphasize what I'm doing with regards to the angles of my hips. So if I hold my stick here and my legs are straight, my hips are even and they are evenly weighted on both feet, and that's my starting position. So I'm going to drop my hip down on this side, like so, and at the same time I'm going to transfer my weight over to this side here. I'm going to bring the hip up to there. I'm going to maintain this angle while I slide the hips across, bring the hip up, maintain the angle, transfer the weight, hip up, transfer weight, up, transfer weight, up, transfer weight, up. And that's my up figure of 8. We're going to try that with some music.